Hey y'all, I'm gonna share with you guys how I was able to grow my Instagram followers by 37,000 followers in just 10 months using Instagram Reels. So I'm giving you guys the tea, the tips on what helped me to grow using Instagram Reels. And I literally wanna share with you not just tips, but I wanna show you because I wanna make sure y'all see at the time of filming this, I have 51,000 followers on Instagram and I create content specifically for my business. So stay tuned, I'm giving you all the tea.
Hey, it's your girl Candace Janae. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I still cannot believe that this is my life, but I also know I dreamt for this and I've prayed for it. If my story doesn't do anything else for you, let it inspire you. Let it inspire you to trust God and bet on yourself.
Hey, my name is Candace Janae and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button and drop a comment down below and let me know that you've subscribed because I'm creating this content for you. And I also want to make sure that I'm welcoming you into my YouTube family. But today is all about me sharing with you how I was able to really grow my Instagram followers by creating Instagram Reels, as well as tips for helping you get more views on your Instagram Reels content. Now, I've got 7 tips, and here goes the first one. My very first tip for you is to make sure that you understand the lay of the land when it comes to Instagram and TikTok, right? And you might be wondering why I'm talking about TikTok. First of all, Instagram clearly modeled Instagram Reels off of TikTok. And you wanna make sure that you're a consumer of Instagram Reels as well as a consumer of TikTok. There are kind of different cultures and different communities and basically a whole different vibe on both platforms. But TikTok usually drives trends to begin with. And being on top of content on Instagram Reels is important, but I would even argue that it's more important to get really good at understanding what's trending and what works in the TikTok world. So I'm gonna actually pull up my TikTok so that you guys can see. I also have 54,000 followers on TikTok as well. And I put in a lot less effort on TikTok than I did to grow my Instagram Reels followers. Now, my Instagram following with Reels. But understanding the lay of the land on TikTok really will help you understand how to create creative content for your Instagram Reels. TikTok is a world that you can honestly get lost in, but it is definitely a space for business owners as well as Instagram Reels. So a lot of the trending sounds that you typically hear may start on TikTok as a trend and move their way over to Instagram, not always vice versa. Typically, content creators create viral content starting on TikTok and then it finds its way to Instagram. So my first tip for you is to understand and be a consumer of not just Instagram content, but TikTok content. All right, so my tip number 2 for you is that you wanna make sure that you're using trending sounds on Instagram Reels. So you may be wondering, okay, how do I figure out what sounds are trending? And it's really easy to kind of figure it out pretty quickly. So here is my Instagram, and this particular, at the bottom, you'll see that on the Reels page, there's a sound. So all you have to do is literally just keep swiping up, and you're gonna hear lots of different sounds that you may hear over and over again. And once you start to hear sounds that you end up hearing over and over again, chances are it's a trending sound. One thing that you wanna look into is once you click into the actual Instagram Reel and the sound, you'll be able to see how many reels have been made with that sound. So if that sound has maybe 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 followers or people that have used that reel audio clip, you wanna use that for yourself as well because you basically are seeing that it's getting ready to start trending. Now there are other sounds that you may see that is trending and building. So some may have, 10,000 plays or whatever. You wanna make sure that you're staying on top of trending music. So when you're creating content that's within trending Instagram Reels, people recognize it. You already know it's kind of a thing that Instagram is pushing to more people, as well as you know that other people are getting excited. But you wanna make sure that you are actually hopping on those things when it's hot. You don't wanna wait forever. Okay, so that's tip number 3, is that you want to hop on TikTok and Instagram trends while they are hot. You don't want to take too much time trying to create content, doing the most. You want to literally create it in the moment, or with it, like if you see that content is getting good, you want to start thinking of creating content, and don't put it out of saying, oh, I'm gonna say this sound and I'm gonna do it a month later, because a lot of times these sounds end up kind of fizzling out, especially if it's a really popular sound. So, and then there are some sounds that kind of linger over time, like that sound that's like, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Y'all know what I'm talking about, even though it don't sound nothing like what it sounds like, but you get what I'm saying. But there are certain sounds that ended up getting, kind of overplayed and played out. We were all played out when it came to that don't rush. Don't rush. That was definitely a trend, okay? And that was a trend that we should all hop on in the moment. The ones who did really well with those were the people who acted fast, instead of the people who waited literally like, a month and a half after it was trending. We were kind of like, don't really want to see that. So that's basically how things went. But when you're dealing with Instagram content that is trending, one thing that you want to make sure that you do is that you find a different or unique way to hop on the trend on your own. So, instead of just doing like the same thing that you see people doing all the time, like the Bust It Challenge, everyone was busting it down. But then when people started to switch it up and do something different, that's kind of what gets people excited, because we already know what to expect from the trend. But if you can find a cool way to switch the trend up and make it your own, that's a really good sign that your video made you well on Instagram Reels. I know there was a time period where I basically grew 8,000 followers literally in 45 days, and it was actually under 45 days, and I did that by creating Instagram Reels. But what I did was I created content within my niche. My niche is helping women create 6-figure businesses, but it was also marketing tips, content creation tips, and so that's basically what I did on Instagram, was created content around my specific niche that was specifically for my target audience. Now, I did that through kind of some comical and humorous content. I also did that through kind of educational content about, creating content and, building a 6-figure business. That was something that I did, and it worked really, really well for me. So if you're a business owner, get in on what your niche is and really pare it down and start creating content and coming up with ideas within your niche for your audience. All right, number 5, you want to make sure that you're telling a story, and a really good one at that, because if you don't understand what your brand story is, you need to figure it out, right? So for me, one of the stories that I tell all the time is that, I went from $0 to 6 figures in under a year. I also told the story of quitting my job in corporate and living my dream life, moving to Mexico, all of those things, and living as a digital nomad. And so those are all stories that I'm able to share with people, and there are stories that you too can tell about your brand. How did your brand come to existence? Why is it that you guys do what you do at your business? Why do you guys do things the way that you do, and how do you do them differently? And if you do them differently than your competitors, why do you do that? These are really great ways to kind of tell stories, and don't be afraid to tell the same stories different ways. A really great example of that is this woman who has an Instagram page called PCOS Weight Loss. She doesn't know I'm doing this, but I'm gonna call her out right now, okay? So PCOS Weight Loss. So if you go to her Instagram page, she has this PCOS weight loss content. If you look through her Instagram Reels and you click into one of them, let's hope the sound doesn't play. Oh, it doesn't, great. So you'll see that she shares lots of content about PCOS. And a lot of times she will share the same content on different videos. So she literally says and makes jokes about the experience of having PCOS, which is a healthcare condition. And then she also talks about things that women should avoid. So for example, if you go to her page, you'll see a lot of her Instagram reels are about avoiding dairy, avoiding gluten, and avoiding sugar and carbs. And she's literally telling the same story so many different times, but finding creative ways through her Instagram reels to tell that same story. And the reason why you don't want to overwhelm yourself and feel like, oh, I'm telling the same story all the time, this is too much for my audience, it's not going to be overwhelming, because unless you have, you know, a bajillion followers, like 8 million followers, there's still more people that you can reach. And even if you did have 8 million followers, there's still more people that you can reach. There are people that don't know about what you have to offer, and there are people who are interested in what you have to offer. So don't be afraid to tell the same story over and over again with new content, and just kind of finding new creative ways to actually share. All right, number 6, you gotta be consistent. I'm sorry, but you gotta be consistent. And one of the things is, yes, you wanna be creating consistent Instagram Reels content, but you also wanna be creating regular Instagram content, like on your IGTV, in your IG stories, or just regular feed posts, because one of the ways to actually build your following is to have a really bomb, amazing Instagram profile. I go into all of this in my 6-figure content course, and I'll make sure that I link that down below, but it goes into like how to actually create really great content beyond just Instagram Reels, coming up with content ideas for your business, things like that. But you wanna make sure that when you are creating content for Instagram Reels, that if you want to grow your followers with it, you have to create content that's going to magnetize them, but not also that, but you need to have your profile all together, because what happens is when people see your Instagram Reels come across their feed, especially if they're in that, like the Reels page, they're going to go back to your page and check your page out. If your page looks interesting and your page looks like something that they want to, you know, keep seeing, they're going to make sure that they follow you. Now, there are times when, you know, someone may have a viral video, but then you go back to their page and then you're like, you know, I'm not really sure that I want to see this content. So it's really important to have your Instagram page and profile really together and really get clear on what your niche is, and make sure that your entire page and your profile really appeals to your target audience, so that when they find you, that they'll stick around and be excited to stay, okay? All right, number 7 is to invest in good lighting and a tripod, okay? So, you know, you can find a tripod on Amazon. I'll link one of the ones that I use down below. I'll also link the ring light that I also use, but you wanna make sure that you invest in a really good ring light, or a really good tripod as well. So you wanna have a tripod for your phone, and you also wanna just make sure that even if you don't have the budget to actually go out and get like a ring light, you can use natural lighting. Even now, I don't have a ring light right now on because I'm using natural light from a window. So you wanna just kind of position yourself so that people can see what's going on in your reel. You wanna make sure that it's like really well lit. I learned that the videos that I create that are, you know, in the daytime, they end up doing better than the ones that are at nighttime. Just because people can see what the heck is going on, and the lighting is pretty good, okay? So I've got some bonus tips for you. You need to not overcomplicate the process. So just start creating Instagram Reels and pay more attention to like what people like, how they show up, and be yourself. Try really hard to really create content that, you know, integrates different parts of your business, but you wanna actually make sure that you're adding value. That is my last bonus tip, is to make sure that you're adding value to your audience in some sort of way. So no matter what type of business you have, whether it's service-based, product-based, you wanna make sure that you go out of your way to find ways to add value. You can add value by giving tips, giving resources. You can add value by even educating them on, you know, the industry that you're in. There's so many different things that you can do with Instagram Reels. So honestly, it's kind of like endless, okay? And you know, I just keep it coming with all the tips. The last tip that I have is that you can use sounds that actually come from TikTok. So if you're trying to figure out how the heck do I take a sound from TikTok and get it to use it on an Instagram Reel video, just you wait. You wanna make sure that you're using the app that is called InShot. I'll link it down below as well. And InShot is really amazing because it allows you to edit videos right on your mobile phone. And you can basically download a video from TikTok, upload it to InShot, and then you can extract the audio on that video and add it to your video on InShot. So a lot of times if I'm creating content that I'm like, ooh, I really want this sound to be on my video on InShot, I'll go in and add that. But usually it's kind of like background music or things like that, but it's not necessarily, like you can't add a video on InShot and dance to it at the same time. So you can't really do that. So you gotta go out of your way to find that trending sound on Instagram so that you can make the sound that you want. So that is my last and final tip for you. As always, thank you for hanging out with me on my channel. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Tell me what your favorite part about today was. And if you had anything that you thought I missed, go ahead and share some tips on Instagram Reels down below. But bye for now.